Sayan, I want to sort of, shift this conversation a little bit to what the thrust of what we've been hearing from the government is, which is basically that they want to push manufacturing. We've heard that by way of what they had to say for the PLI scheme as well. 25% of GDP or so is the target. But if you looked at the numbers, and even if you sort of, refix the target for a decade from now, for 2030, is import substitution really going to do a lot to muscle up manufacturing for us? What's going wrong with the nerve center of manufacturing in India? Because it has actually been on the decline, since 2012.
Yeah, so in the manufacturing sector in India, in terms of employment, it has not grown. In fact, for the last uh, 30, 40 years, it has in fact remained stable at about 18, 19%. But in terms of value added, it has definitely grown. And when we compare numbers, we sometimes miss this point that we have, in fact, manufacturing strength, not in low-skilled manufacturing, which countries like some of our competitors are always pointing out. I mean, Vietnam and Bangladesh typically. In garments, we don't. But we do have competitive manufacturing in very many sectors. Automobiles, for example. Pharmaceuticals, for example. We are suppliers of generic drugs to the entire world. So it is the problem is that as far as manufacturing is concerned, we've not had a consistent policy, and definitely import substitution is not going to help. Now, the reason why we have not been able to push up manufacturing is also linked to the fact that we have not been able to integrate into the global value chains, the regional value chains of Asia. And again, there basically, so if you, the importance of imports becomes very important in that. In order to export, you need to import. And because if you're part of the chain, you're importing certain things, intermediate imports, and then you are processing them and then exporting. If you are part of the chain, then both your imports as well as your exports in that product will be high. Diamonds, for example. India processes a lot of finished diamonds. We are importing the raw material and exporting them. So there are certain, in fact, gems and jewelry is a very important export earner for us. But the main issue is that what are the low-skilled manufacturing that we can encourage? Because therein lies the problem of solving our employment. So we don't have to see this only in terms of what we can do in as far as sophisticated manufacturing, which we are doing actually very comfortably and very well. But the problem actually lies in scale, and there the usual problems, land, labor regulations, etc. Everything is there. But as far as encouraging low-skill manufacturing, we have to really think out of the box. And I don't think any kind of import substitution policies is actually going to help in that case. We have to find a way to becoming more competitive compared to our competitors.